guys, this is Svetlana from Cosplay, and today I'm going to show you how to build one of the most iconic props in video game history. And this is the Hylian shield from Legend of Zelda. As you know, it's always super helpful to have a shield just in case of a random chicken attack on the street. And it's also a really fun and cool project to build. This one was actually the very first shield I ever made, and I wanted to get into shield making and learn how it works. So I picked this one as an example, and yeah, all I used was actually some EVA foam and also some other materials, and you will find links for them in the video description below. And yeah, with the help of Benny, it took me around 1 weekend to make it, and if you're curious and want to make it as well, you also will find the blueprint which Benny made for me in the video description below. So in case you're bored, you have a free weekend or whatever, or just want to do some cool crafting, check it out. And if you still have some time left and want to have new ideas for prop making, check out my foam prop making book, which tells you how to make axes, shields, swords, and like all kinds of cool mighty things to become the most amazing cosplayer with the biggest weapon at the convention on cosplay.com. So please check it out, because I still need some money for presents for my family and friends and my dogs. Thank you. And now you can watch the video. Congratulations for making it to this point. To begin, Benny drew a detailed blueprint of the shield based on some official artwork. If you want to make the shield as well, you can download it from our website. I put the link below in the description. Next, he printed it out over several pages, which I then had to tape together. Following this, I grabbed my scissors, cut it out, and my base was done. Note here that I scaled the shield to fit my own size, so it might turn out a little too small if you're a male cosplayer. Anyway, now let's start crafting. I grabbed some 10mm low density EVA foam and traced half of the shield onto it. It's a little bit hard to see here, but I drew the mirror line in a curved way to add some extra material to the middle. After that, I mirrored it, cut out both sides and connected them with a bit of contact glue. Since I curved my center line before, the shield was now a little bit rounded. But after heating it up with my heat gun, I was able to shape it even more. Now here comes a little trick. I made a second, slightly larger version of the base, covered it completely in glue, and stacked it under the smaller shield from before. While gluing, I slightly bended both layers and even secured the shape with some tape. This made it easier to create the same curve on the left and the right side. As you can see, the result was thick and round and stayed now in shape. Next, I had to smooth out the edge a bit. Much better. Now it was time to add some details. First, I started with these grey raised borders. For this, I used 10mm high density EVA foam. I kept on using the same blueprint from before and just cut it into smaller parts. Having a sharp blade was essential here. Cutting these all out took some time, but as you can see, I made good progress. Following this, I used the same blueprint again to mark exactly where the beveled edges would have to be. This way, I also made sure each part was exactly symmetrical. To save some time, I carved most of the material away with my box cutter and only then began to work with my Dremel. Cleaning all the edges took several hours and a very steady hand. Check out my Dremel tutorial video if you want to improve your own Dremel skills. Here you can really see the advantage of the high density foam though. The sanded areas are just much smoother. Now I only had to connect both sides and somehow create these weird triangles. My first try didn't really look that good though. I had to find another solution. My next attempt was using a sharp box cutter. I had to be super careful here and did some test cuts before, but the result was a lot better. Now the next step was to add all the glue and to attach all the gray foam details. Again, I used my blueprint to mark the right spots and placed everything piece by piece. Now only the big bird emblem was missing. I simply traced it to thinner foam, cut it out with my scissors and glued it on. By the way, I always use a squeeze bottle for my glue. It keeps it nice and fresh and allows me to apply it much easier. Finally, I had to smooth out the edge of the shield, place a simple attachment onto the back, and the foam build was done. I was already quite happy here. Next step, priming the foam. First, Benni smoothed out some of the visible seams with quick seal. Then I applied 3 thick layers of Plastidip on top. So far so good, now to the painting. Benni decided to mainly use his airbrush because he had to cover large areas very evenly. First he painted all the edges silver. As you can see, however, he didn't pay much attention to where he was spraying though. So next he applied masking tape all around the shield. With this he sealed away all the parts he wanted to keep silver and then applied a lot of blue on top. He also added a nice gradient with a darker shade of blue. After he peeled the tape off again, you can see that the silver parts now had very clean edges and lines. Now only the gold and red was missing, which he simply applied with a regular brush. Then, last but not least, to protect the paint job, he applied a final layer of spray varnish. And done with the shield. Looks good enough, don't you think? Together with Benni, I spent only around 1 weekend to make the shield. So this was super interesting, right? And now you probably wonder, hey, I can just buy it for 20 bucks on eBay or on Amazon, so why should I make it? Well, you're wrong, because suffering is fun. You know, you have to buy far too expensive materials, far too expensive tools, and you will spend all your weekend to craft this damn thing, because suffering is fun. You will cry during the night. You will rebuild simple and stupid stuff again because you're too stupid for it. And you will suffer. But at the end, you will laugh at it and say, I made this myself and I absolutely hate it, but I finished it. And this is what cosplay is about. Agony and pain. And it's so much fun. Well, I hope this video was educational and inspiring, and I hope you also want to craft something cool yourself. And if you have some ideas for my next project, let me know in the comments. And as always, like and subscribe, support us on Patreon if you want to see more weird videos like this. And well, see you very soon. Bye bye, and don't forget to check out my books.